Hey, what's going on? Charles Austin here, and welcome to day number 8 of the 12 Days of Fitness, where the word of the day is food. But before we jump into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button right below. Turn those notifications on so you can be alerted every time I make a new video. So let's go ahead and recap what we've talked about so far on the 12 Days of Fitness. So now that you're all caught up, let's go ahead and get started on today's video, where the word of the day is food. So many of you out there are trying to have a successful health and fitness program, and you're trying to lose weight, build muscle, train your body, whatever it may be. And you're focusing on the shakes and the bars and the prepackaged meals and all the different drinks that are out there and all those different things, and you're not actually focusing on food. And it's probably because whatever new crash diet or new guaranteed weight loss program that you might be on, they're probably telling you that you have to eat these foods, you have to eat exactly like this, otherwise you won't be successful. Well, that just couldn't be further from the truth. Well, the truth is, real food is the way. So what do I mean by real food? Well, I'm talking about fresh and frozen fruits and vegetables. We're talking about nuts, seeds, beans, whole grains. We're talking about wild-caught seafood and antibiotic and hormone-free livestock and meat as well. So when we're talking about food, we want to make sure we're avoiding foods that have an ingredient list that's this long, where you have ingredients where you can barely pronounce what's in it. So many preservatives and so much sodium, so many chemicals, where it kind of takes it away from actually being food. Because you've never heard about anybody being overweight or obese or diabetic or have high blood pressure because they ate too many strawberries, too many blueberries, too many almonds, or too many whole grains. Those are not generally going to be the reasons why we're unhealthy and out of shape. Most of the time, it's going to be because we had too much processed food, too much table sugar, too many chemicals and additives added to our food versus just actually eating the real food in the first place. And newsflash, for all of my folks out there who are trying to be dairy free, if you're still consuming whey protein as your protein shake source, you're actually still consuming dairy. Whey protein comes from cow's milk, which of course is dairy. So one of the things that I always recommend is that folks cut out the middleman, go straight to the source. Consume your protein from plants. So if you're getting your powder and your shakes, get the plant protein that's made from nuts and seeds and rice and beans and things like that, because not only will they contain easily digestible protein, they'll also consume fiber, which of course is very important for our health as well. And I could not make a video about food without talking about portion sizing and portion control. And that's because it's literally one of the most important things that will determine the success or the failure of a health and fitness program. So a lot of times it's not necessarily the food choices that we are making. Well, I guess actually it is. But when we are making the proper food choices, we also need to make sure that our portions are adequate as well. So for example, carbohydrates, fruits and vegetables, whole grains, protein sources, all of these different food groups all have specific portions that we need to adhere to. So I spend a lot of time with my clients working on making sure that they understand the amount of carbohydrates they can consume, the amount of proteins, the amount of fruit and vegetables, and it's a line by line list letting them know that this is how much you can consume. Because even when we're making proper food choices, our portions are super important as well. All right, so let's go ahead and recap what we talked about today. Remember, the word of the day is food. And remember, we want to be trying to make sure that we're eating food versus food products. So if you're looking at a food label and you see an ingredient list that's this long and half of the ingredients you can't even pronounce, you probably shouldn't be putting it in your body. And again, fast food falls under this category as well. Anything with lots of additives and things that we just don't recognize as being food. All of this packaging and preservative type foods. So again, we want to stick with fresh or fresh frozen fruits and vegetables. We're talking about wild caught seafood. We're talking about protein sources from animals that aren't pumped up with steroids, antibiotics, and hormones. And those are the things we want to try to consume on a regular basis. Shakes and different drinks and all those different things, those are nice, but they're to supplement your diet that is full of rich, natural food. Because at the end of the day, if we're not eating food, what are we eating? And y'all can also follow me at Fitness Charles on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.